When you're a founder and you don't have a name, you don't have a reputation, you don't have a lot of money, it's hard to get known. You have a chicken and egg. So I'm going to give you a little tour on how it's actually done. And my hope is that by the end of this session, you'll see what you need to do to be able to build your connections. Well, hello, everybody. And I'm Dennis Yu. Glad to be your instructor today in the Young Entrepreneur Movement. Thank you to Jared, Grant Cardone, everyone else. I want to give you a behind the scenes look at how you can grow your personal brand, because when you're a founder and you don't have a name, you don't have a reputation, you don't have a lot of money, it's hard to get known. You have a chicken and egg. So I'm going to give you a little tour on how it's actually done. And my hope is that by the end of this session, you'll see what you need to do to be able to build your connections, to be able to be seen on social, to know what to say, to know how to connect, and use some really pro level tips. So you guys ready? Here we go. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'm going to show you what we were looking at here. In fact, I'm going to switch to my other monitor so you can say hi, or back to the first monitor, or also back to our little ability to draw here. So I'm going to draw a few things. We're going to use all of these at the same time. But first thing I'm going to do is come over here to Facebook, and I'm going to show you what it means to build your brand across these different social networks. So a lot of people, they use Facebook as a user. So if you click on me as a user, you can see my profile. You can see posts that I've made. Look, I made a little video just a few minutes ago talking about Jared and Grant. You get to our little studio here. You can see who my friends are. I have 5,000. That's the limit. I've been there for quite a while. So I'm posting all kinds of stuff. But what I want you to do as a young entrepreneur is create a public figure page. So if you look for me, there's me here, but then there's me as a public figure. So it's a page. It's a business page. It's called Dennis Yu. What you just saw before is my profile. But when you have a page, you have ads and analytics. So check this out. Before you were looking at my profile, that's not my page. Now this is my page, and it's called Dennis Yu. So it looks like a profile, but it's not. And you can see that I've got a different set of posts, but they look personal. They look friendly. I'm interviewing other people that are in our industry. I'm speaking at conferences. You can see, I've changed my cover photo. Some people saw that. Some people put like on it. And I'm hanging out with clients, right? You want to use Inception here, where you are influencing the people that influence the people that you want to be able to buy your product or service. So especially if it's a SaaS, then you want people to see who your other customers are in a non-salesy kind of way. So I can come here and create ads. Now, here's what I want you to see. The power of video. When you make short little videos, that's the stuff that doesn't look like an ad, especially when you do it right here on your cell phone. The key is on your cell phone, right? Vertical, not horizontal. When you make videos like this, then this is how you get people to believe that you're bigger than you really are, right? That's the whole thing of trying to look big. So I asked our buddy Grant Cardone to make a video on how we should make 1-minute videos. And here it is. And check this out. So Grant made a video. It was rather than just talking about making a video, this is what he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they rewind.
It's got to be authentic. You got to be transparent. You got to give people attention. I'm like, hey! Now, if you're in a professional setting,
Not close enough.
It might be more like making a big claim. Okay, I guarantee you something. You got to punch. You got to have a hook. You got to get excited. So, and let me just say this. All that being said, quantity beats quality. Don't get yourself. You got to get out there a lot, okay? Hey, you guys be great, 10X everything, thinking 10X levels. And that dude you're working with, Dennis Yu, he's a bad man. See what I do? I keep getting your attention. He's a bad man. And that's my little girl right there. She a freak. And that used to be grapefruit on my plate. See what I'm doing?
Yep. So you see what he's doing? What he's doing is he is telling you how to get attention. And the key is when you make 1-minute videos like that and you capture people's attention and you're using your phone and your little girl comes in and interrupts, it's totally okay. You're not trying to make a professional video. You're just trying to humanize. Now look what I did with this video. I boosted it. So 130,000 people saw it, but a lot of that was because of ads. So I boosted to people who were fans of Grant, and I got these for maybe half a penny a through play, getting people to watch my video. A through play is 15 seconds plus. So think about the stories that you want to be able to tell. Think about your product, think about your idea, think about the story of you as a founder, talk about how you're solving problems, everything except for just, hey, we have a really cool software product, sign up for a demo. I'd love to get 15 minutes with you. I mean, you could certainly do that, but you want to earn the right to people's attention. And you can see here that this is driving more people who want to engage, right? So think about, this is how you're building relationships at scale. Now I want to show you the same thing on LinkedIn. So if we come over to LinkedIn, I've got 30,000 connections. Let's see. So if I look at my notifications, this is the thing you should be looking at all the time. I'll make these different posts. And often I'm just cross-posting from other channels. So you can see here on Twitter, I took a screenshot and then I just said, hey, who's with me on this one? And other people are coming in, they're liking, sharing, and commenting. And because I'm commenting back or other people are part of this discussion, this is how you drive engagement on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is going to be fantastic for you to drive business development and partnership kinds of deals, because you put things out there about what you believe in that tie to the values that are of your product and your co-founder, and talk about challenges that you have. And when you're real and authentic, which you've heard before, but in a way that's professional and empathetic, then you're going to see all these people want to engage with you. So you can see I'm taking this content here and I'm just resharing other content I have. It could be stories, it could be honoring other people, it could be realizations that you had. So here's another one. I thought golf was a stupid game, but then I realized that actually it parallels being an entrepreneur and these other life lessons. You can see people are engaging on that. And this didn't do quite as well. This was 4 days ago and it only got 14 people to like it, only 493 people to see that one, but that's okay. You learn, you put out lots of content. Let's see some other kind of content. Let's for example, go to my Twitter. Here we go. Have you ever seen anyone log in live into their accounts? A lot of people just want to tell you what to do. I'm not using a PowerPoint. I'm literally showing you how to build warm leads. You need people to buy your product at scale. You can do that by hiring salespeople, by taking lots of meetings. But the thing I see with lots of young entrepreneurs is they listen to the advice that their friends and family have, and those people are well-meaning, but you need to talk to the people who are actually your customers, who actually would buy, right? Someone who really has the pain that you're trying to solve. So here's what we do on Twitter. So what I've done with my friend Jan, who runs the Virtual Summit Mastery, is I want to help him drive more sales. So you can see that he's making these different tweets where he gave me this to tweet. So this is actually him tweeting from my account, because I got the blue check and 70,000 followers. And you can see that just a few minutes ago, he posted this, and then I'm edifying him. Hey, I learned from Jan. Jan's amazing. And then he says, thank you, right? And if you look at my stats here, and I want to show you, you can do this. A lot of people don't understand this key secret I'm going to show you about Twitter. We're going to go through all the different channels, and you're going to find that we're reusing the same stuff over and over again. We're reusing relationships, little snippets. I'm going to show you a couple tricks on my phone. I think you're going to find it fascinating. I think you're going to be able to apply it right away. All right, look. So if we look at my analytics, I've tweeted 518 times in the last 28 days, which is about 20 times a day. And what I'll do is I'll just go on a rampage. I'll just tweet 10 times at once just because I had a thought. In the shower, I had a thought. I'll just go ahead and tweet that. And some of the things where you're honoring other people, you're providing thoughts on your food, or you're just showing you're a person, but not just being a consumer. That's how most people use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatnot. And there's also always some kind of angle that ties back to what I'm doing and what I care about and my knowledge and the relationships that I have, because that's ultimately going to sell my product, right? Because people buy from the fact that they identify with who you are. So you can see I've got 861,000 people that have seen more impressions. So who knows how many people that is, maybe 250,000 over the last 28 days. And when I tweet more often, like here, I tweeted 50 times, I got 60,000 impressions. And sometimes I only tweet 10 or 20 times and I get 20, 30,000 impressions. And you'll see that some of these tweets will just really take off for some reason. And you can't necessarily predict which tweets are going to take off. So just put a lot of stuff out there. Here's the key point with Twitter. There is no limit to the number of tweets you have. There is no penalty. With Facebook, you can post once or twice a day. LinkedIn, maybe once a day. Twitter, you can post 50 times a day with no penalty. Isn't that kind of cool? Because if you post, it'll just go right up to the top of the feed. So the more followers you have, the more people that can see it, the more engagement you have. Engagement then drives the algorithm, gives you more reach, right? So you can see like this one from just a couple weeks ago. I talked about a failure that I had. This actually was a LinkedIn post. I just reposted it to Twitter. And I'll take my top Facebook posts and post them to Twitter or YouTube, or take my YouTube stuff and post it to a blog. I can reuse stuff between all these different channels, right? I want you to see how you can reuse content from channel to channel. So you don't have to worry about trying to create different content on Quora versus LinkedIn versus your blog or whatnot. I want to show you reuse of content. So here, got 1,000 people to engage on 10,000 people who saw it. That is a 10% engagement rate. In general, on social networks, you want a 10% engagement rate. That means of every 10 people that see something, you want one of them to be able to like, comment, or share. When that happens, you're going to keep getting more reach. And until your engagement rate gets lower and lower, then you kind of fall off. Then you don't get more additional reach, which is a viral factor, basically, right? So those of you who are not getting engagement on your social, that's okay. You just need to get a few people to start engaging. And even just one person engaging can be enough to drive a deal. And that one person can run a conference or invite you on their podcast, which then gives you access to another 10,000 people or whatever industry you're in. So don't be discouraged that you don't get tons of likes here. You'll see that I would never know these one, like here, I'm congratulating my friend Bruno. I love to give praise on other people because it shows that you have an abundance mindset, and an abundance mindset draws other people to you, draws it to lead magnets you have, or webinars you have, or content that you have, and ultimately drives people to the product that you have. So you can see that I have these different posts that are here. Now I'm going to show you a little secret. Most people don't know this little secret I'm going to show you. They're not aware that you can boost a post to get lots of extra traffic and how easy it is. I'm going to show you this. I've got a whole course on this because you can go really deep, but I want to show you this one simple thing that you can do to boost on Facebook, to boost on Twitter, to boost on LinkedIn, and the most important post, you can make sure that you get the right reach. Check this out. So you can see that some of these have a yellow that shows it's promoted. So what does that mean? It means that I spent money to drive ads against it. So look at what I have going on here. Organically, I got however many people saw it, and organically, I got a certain number of people to like, comment, and share. But I can micro-target people who are fans of a competitor or someone else. If they follow a particular person, then I want them to buy my software. So the way you bootstrap scale on Twitter and Facebook and LinkedIn and whatnot is you say, people who I want to buy my product or service are also customers of so-and-so, who are also fans of so-and-so. They also read so-and-so's magazine. They also subscribe to such and such. You're trying to do this lookalike follower campaign. I'm going to show you what that is, so that it's almost like you have access to their email list. You have access to their website because you're basically just able to target these other people. So look, here I have a post. Yeah, something I love more than chicken and waffles. What is it? It's running Twitter ads, right? And I'm targeting people who are already, well, let's see, I'll show you that in a second. But you can see that I got a lot of people to watch this video. So 57,000 people saw it initially, and then 22,000 media views, and then 7,000 people engaged. So let's see, here's the thing that I made. It's a simple little video. I want you guys to see the power of making short little videos. Look at this. Here, I'm just literally at a restaurant.
Finally turning Twitter.
So we're selling a course here, right? You know what's better than chicken and waffles?
Growing your Twitter account and finally turning Twitter from just some fun thing into an actual business. Best way to do that and get 10,000 followers is to join Twitter 10K. You can grab that at twitteru.com. twitteru.com.
All right. So you see how that works, and we had 527 people that like that. So that means friends of those people will often see your content as well. So if the average person on social has 400 friends, that's another 400 people of those 527 people that could see it. And if those people like or engage, or they like chicken and waffles, or like, oh, wow, I've been to that one place before, Bruxy's, yeah, they're in the South. I didn't realize they're in Santa Monica, whatever it is, they're just starting conversation. Then you're building a warm touch, and then people will say, wow, I feel like I know who that person is. So look, these people are engaging. I've got analytics, which shows that some of it was ads and some of it was paid. And you can see all these people are starting to engage, right? And you can see that Jan is now edifying me. So I'm going to click like on that, and I'm edifying him. And if you do a search to see, him, you should do this too, by the way. This is why you should be on podcasts. And you should get your name out there, because you want to be associated with other people that are trustworthy. If it's just you talking about your stuff is just not going to be as powerful. So you can see here that he's promoting our 1 minute video technique, right? 1 minute videos. And here's how you do 1 minute videos. Here's how you tell a story. Here's lots of examples. So you can see here, he's interviewed me on his podcast talking about how do you make 1 minute videos like this. And it's different than me trying to teach it. It's just so much more powerful. It's just less douchier when someone else is talking about you. So when you interview other people about things that they're good at, and they could be partners, they could be clients, they could be people in related complementary sort of industries. For example, we do a lot of stuff with local service businesses like dentists and doctors and chiropractors and real estate agents. And real estate agents will use certain kinds of software. So I'll interview the folks who use, behind those other software companies, and they'll interview me. And it's just way better when I'm able to talk objectively about them and they're talking about me. So look, you can see that literally just being on his podcast, which can be distributed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, it's just going to be so much more powerful when it's being shared by him, right? I guess he's just sharing a clip from this thing here. But you see how it's just way more powerful. So here we're talking about building agencies, for example, and why you should triple your prices. So look at this. How much more work is it for a 50?
From my perspective, how it changed was I was basically doing the same thing, but I was walking the client much more.
So do you see how it's conversational? Now we're taking the same content and we're taking snippets out of it. And then we're reposting it over here. You can see to Twitter, to Facebook, to YouTube. You can see all these people are engaging on our content. So let's see here. I'm literally showing in real time. This thing happened just minutes ago, right? So let's see. Jan said an hour ago, I recently started doing a lot of tweets. And now look, his numbers are way up. See the greens here? And this guy says, whatever, should automate. And then he gives me credit. He says, I was learning from Dennis, and Dennis says this is really good, and Dennis never sleeps. Well, yeah, you can see up here in the top right, it's 3:19 a.m. Sometimes that's the only time you have to make content. Sometimes when you're tired, you gotta do it, because you push it till tomorrow, you might not ever get it done. So that shows you how much dedication I have for you guys. At 3:19 a.m., I am making training for you guys because I want to see you take action. There's no excuse. Even people like me, I have the same 24 hours in a day. But look at this post here. So yeah, he's sending out tons of tweets and all this, and it's just really nice when you can honor other people. Like, find ways where you can honor other people on social, on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, whatever your favorite channel is, and they will honor you back. That is the law of reciprocity. All right. So I want to make sure you guys understand the key for you growing and other people endorsing your business, your startup, your idea is you give thanks to other people. So who are the mentors that you have, that you lean on? Who are the other key employees? What gave you the idea? How about, honoring your family? Maybe you have a spouse or a loved one that's supporting you in this startup role, and how difficult that is. And you talk about how difficult entrepreneurship is. There's so many different things you can talk about, but the key is you're going to give thanks and have gratitude in a heartfelt, real way. You're going to do it here on your cell phone with 15-second videos. And when you start with that abundance mindset, that's when people are going to then honor you and reciprocate. So you can see, here's another one. Here's my buddy who is the head of a major social platform. Well, it's kind of hard to see the focus is, if I can focus it back in. Is the camera not focusing? Anyway, you can see that this is a Facebook chat here. And he said, hey, can you get me people to register for a webinar we have coming up? And I said, sure, here it is. And I started doing all these tweets, and I started going on Facebook. I went on LinkedIn and I said, hey, everybody should attend this webinar on how to do local SEO with the topic that they're talking about. And I showed him a screenshot of this. And then he replied back literally just now, a couple minutes ago. He said, wow, right? Can you see that? Maybe I can focus and you can see it. Kind of hard to see. Oh, I think it's the lighting is all weird here. I think it's because I have the white light, the white TV in the background. But when I'm saying thank you, then people naturally want to reciprocate and they want to be able to share based on how that's just kind of what they do. Just like on LinkedIn, you give a recommendation, you'll then get recommended back. All right. So now that you understand the idea of growing your brand is by saying thank you to others so they in turn do the same thing for you. I'm going to show you this framework that's called the personal brand manager. And don't freak out if you don't have a lot of items. I've been doing this thing for 30 years, so I have a bit of a head start. But even if you're starting out just now, you're going to find, especially because the network of the other folks inside YEM, that you can network with them, you can interview them. I'm not saying everyone just like each other's stuff all the time, or you should always just hang out in the clique, because that's what we see with a lot of entrepreneurs, especially in the tech space. But you can lean on others to be able to create support, so it doesn't look like it's just you out there and your co-founder or whatnot trying to start a business. It shows that there's the power of a whole bunch of people. All right, check this out. This is what we call the personal brand manager. Think of it as a filing cabinet. Filing cabinet has things that you put in on the left and things that come out on the right. So the things that come into your personal brand manager are mentions, or when you're speaking, or articles, or awards that you've won, or any kind of content that you've made. Maybe you've been on a podcast, maybe you made a YouTube video, you made a video sales letter and you stuck it inside your ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft, like whatever it is, right? You have all this content coming in, but the key is you want to look for positive mentions, meaning someone said something good about you, not a testimonial. And by the way, never use the word testimonial. Testimonial is a one-sided thing where no one wants to listen to testimonials, but if you say how Sally used this tool to achieve this result, right? XYZ, who I did it for, result I achieved, and how I did it, meaning your product, using your service or SaaS software. That's the key that you want. So all the stuff's coming in and you're noticing it because you're using Google Alerts or you're checking your Twitter notifications, whatever it is, that's coming into this filing cabinet, which then you're able to store. And maybe you can hire a virtual assistant for $500 a month full-time taking care of this, or you have a virtual assistant on online jobs, or you hire someone on Fiverr or Upwork, or your unemployed little brother, whatever it might be. They're collecting all of this, and then it becomes output to go to Twitter and your website and Facebook and LinkedIn and all that, okay? So now I'm gonna move real quick through some of these concepts, and you might think some of it doesn't apply to you. You might think some of it is out of reach for you, but I promise you, thousands of people have done this, even if they are terrible at public speaking. Look, I'm a search engine engineer. I built the analytics at Yahoo. I'm a Chinese, not English speaking until I was 6 kind of person, not natural on camera or TVs, things like that. I had to learn this stuff. I thought I could never do it, but I just went ahead and did it. Look, I'm freaking bald and I'm making videos for you guys, right? So don't even worry about how you look or how you sound. Just do it. You'll just get better. Gary Vaynerchuk and these guys will just tell you, just go do it. Okay, look. So whenever you have a good mention, it doesn't have to be TV, but I have a lot of these TV, and like I was on CNN in front of 3.5 million people live talking about Cambridge Analytica, and Mark Zuckerberg and I had an argument. I think I won it. Other people told me I won it. Facebook executives got mad at me and they said, Dennis, you can't be saying stuff like that on TV. And I said, I don't work for you guys, but what I said was honest, right? Yeah, that's true, but we preferred that you wouldn't have said that kind of stuff on TV. So there's articles, right? And it could be you're guest blogging on someone else's blog, or you're whatever it is, you're having lunch with a friend and you're sharing pictures, and you just want to show the connections that you have with these other people. So as you have that, I want you to stick it inside this filing cabinet. And this is what we call your network power. So who is it that you know? So you're not just taking pictures with these people, but you're making 15-second videos. That's the key difference people don't seem to get. And instead of texting someone back, you reply with a video, 15-second video. It's actually faster. Or you can reply with Twitter or on Instagram or Facebook. You can, wherever you reply with text, I want you to reply with video, and you're going to find that builds relationships faster. And they will reply with video. And when they reply with video, because you started to reply to them with video, now you have stuff you can stick inside the content library. So inside here, you can see that I've got lots of people that I'm friends with, but it's not just pictures. I've made videos with these people. Isn't it so much better? Instead of like a picture of me and Grant Cardone, whatever. At some conference, I'm sure there's like 1,000 people in line that want to take a picture, with Grant Cardone or Gary Vaynerchuk or whatever. But isn't it so much better that you have a little 15-second video and they're not going to say no? And you could just literally declare that you have a podcast. You can just say, yeah, I've got the podcast on such and such, or it's your name's first name, last name podcast. You don't know anything about podcasting. That's okay. Just say that you have a podcast. I literally just declared that I had a podcast. I don't know what a podcast is. I don't know the software. I don't know how this whole thing is with Apple and the podcast and Spotify and all these different kinds of tools. I just said I had a podcast. And then I would record people with my cell phone. And I'd say in a 1-minute video, hey, I'm here with Jared Yellen, and we're talking about, what's going to happen with whatever, entrepreneurship and raising money and how COVID makes things more difficult. I don't know, whatever it might be, right? Like he's here, right? We're just making a 1-minute video, right? Or just on Zoom. I catch people on Zoom, customers, clients, people I'm getting feedback from. I'm mentoring them, they're mentoring me, right? And we just capture that on video, and then you're able to put it inside this library. So you could see like, oh, okay, I know all these other people. Like, for example, I know Tom Ferry. Tom Ferry is the #1 guy in real estate, and we serve a lot of real estate agents. So instead of me knocking on doors for all these real estate agents trying to offer them products and services, I get on Tom Ferry's podcast, and he's got 400,000 real estate agents that follow him. So that carries a lot more weight. So creating content together with Tom Ferry allows me to play Inception because I'm multiple levels ahead of just trying to directly, nakedly sell customers, clients to buy from you. You see that technique? So this idea is, who is it that I want to buy my product or service? Get super clear on the niche and the value proposition and that kind of thing, personas. But then that's what you learn in digital marketing, and other people are going to tell you that. Focus on exactly your niche and whatnot. That's great. But who do those people respect? That's the person, or maybe who does that person respect? That's the person you want to be able to make content with, because you make content with this person, then all these people that follow that person are going to buy. That doesn't mean you want to then spend time on Elon Musk or Richard Branson or these A-list level celebrities, but there could be B-level people that you can get introductions to because your parents know somebody, or because of a friend, because you're on LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram or whatever, your friend's dad or somebody knows this other person, and you just want to get them on your podcast to make a 5-minute video and ask them 5 questions. They're not going to say no to that, right? Be prepared. Say, this is my podcast. Here's the 5 questions I want to ask you. Make sure you did your research. Film it appropriately. Please use proper sound. I've got a microphone here. You can't see it. It's just out of the view. Yeah, you can. You can see that? Yeah, maybe. Right? Get proper sound, and it'll make a huge difference. All right, let's go back to this. So it's not just showing that you know all these people. Otherwise, you might as well just be boasting, oh, I know so-and-so, you're a name dropper, right? Instead, I want you to organize it into these topics. And that's what we call, see, look, I got all this stuff here. Look, I've been to lots of conferences, done a lot of flying, worked with a lot of universities. These topics, we're going to organize into why, how, and what, okay? So you have this topic wheel. So there's this wheel. So if you need to press pause right now, I'm not going to be offended. I want you to draw a circle with you in the middle, and then with the 6 different topics that you care about. So your topic wheel is 3 things that are professional and 3 things that are personal, and don't spend too much time trying to be perfect about it. You're going to change it over time, right? The whole point is really just to get something going, and you're going to use this to structure the rest of your content. As you're doing that, you're going to think of other people that you want to connect with. So when you think of the topics that you want to be known for, try to go as niche as you can, right? So don't just say entrepreneurship. Don't just say making money. Don't just say, get real specific. Say something like 30-year treasury notes, or instead of education, say something like, helping high schoolers be able to learn algebra better. I don't know, whatever it might be, right? So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, do you like this cool GoPro setup? Look at this. You can see here's our studio. Here's a camera. This is a laptop I'm presenting on right here. There's another camera here. You can see back. There's our whiteboards and other stuff down there. Clock tells you it's 3 a.m. Not even kidding. But here at this topic wheel, here's what you're going to do. You're in the middle. That's you right here. This is you. Put your face here. And I want you to think of 6 topics, 3 professional and 3 personal. Maybe you like your family, you like golfing. Maybe, you like to go to beaches or something like that. And then what are 3 things that related to the product or service that you have? Maybe it's a SaaS product or whatnot. What are those things? Maybe it's, security. Maybe it's something to do with, marketing automation. Maybe it's something to do with, helping orthodontists generate more leads. I don't know, whatever it might be. Think about what those particular topics are that you want to be seen as knowledgeable in those topics, because that's going to drive them into the center of this hub, which is you driving sales. Okay. So you've got these topics, and I could say, for example, oh, I know a lot about education. I know a lot about mentorship. Hey, I know a lot about digital marketing. I know a lot about Facebook ads. I spent $1 billion on Facebook ads. Can you believe that? Of other people's money over the last 14 years. So it's actually not a lot of money when it's been this long. But hey, I could say there's all these things that I know a lot about. And that would come off as probably a little bit boastful, don't you think? And don't you think it's a little corny if you're the one talking about yourself all the time? You want the endorsement of other people. So if I want to be known for things like entrepreneurship, isn't it going to be so much better if I can associate other people with these? So if I'm friends with Ryan Dice or Grant Cardone or whoever these other people are, all of a sudden I carry more authority. So this is how I'm connecting my knowledge with my network. Think about that, right? Start drawing it out. If you need to press pause to think about that, then this is what you need to be able to grow your business. And it always starts with relationships. You know that, B2B lead gen, SaaS, Salesforce to drive leads that lead to meetings and you negotiate deals, whatever it might be. But most people, they have one direction or the other. They start with their network and all the people they know. And then from their network, they acquire knowledge, or they start with their knowledge. So what do you know about? Maybe you're an introvert and you have more knowledge and you have these different topics. And then from there, you can bridge to whoever's the most knowledgeable in those topics, people that you know or don't quite know. So either way, you're going to be trying to find that intersection between the people that you know, and they could be just people that are friends of yours, people that believe in you. It could be your parents, could be classmates, could be whatever, the other people in the Young Entrepreneur Movement program. And think about the things that you know or need to know, or you would have to know to be successful. So start to bring those together. Think about where those intersections are. And you're going to find that this will tell you who you need to know to be able to grow your startup. And most people, they just randomly go to a conference or whatever, and they just try to meet everybody because they think, well, the more people I meet, the better it's going to be. You don't have time to meet everybody, right? People will make introductions for you, but unless you're clear about what your topics are and who your best relationships are, you're going to miss a lot of people that would otherwise make connections for you, but they don't know what it is exactly that you stand for and what your topics are. For me, I want to create jobs for young adults. There's nothing that would make me happier to train you guys up in digital marketing. For example, we've got this whole program that by the time you see this, maybe you'll know about it. It's Financial Freedom Movement with Jake Paul, right? I created all this training together with Jake Paul on how you can learn to be an influencer. And how does that work in our Inception model? Well, I could say, hey, I'll help you be an influencer. And then you're like, who's this old Chinese guy trying to tell me how to be an influencer? And then you hear Jake Paul say, Dennis and I created this program together because we want to help you start your YouTube channel or sell digital marketing services or your personal brand. And it's like, oh, okay. So I'm anchoring it from the trust of somebody else, right? So who is it that you can anchor off of the trust of in the different topics that they're well known on? So you see this? So it's not enough to have those relationships and have the structure. You then have to be able to associate it with content. And this is where you create a ton of content. This is when you then distribute that, like I was showing you earlier, across social media.